Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Thank you for joining us in this special analysis, where we revisit one of the most perilous turning points in the Russia-Ukraine war, the moment Moscow launched its winter air campaign, sending shockwaves across all of Europe. A night plunged into darkness from October 4th to 6th. Russia launched its largest aerial bombardment campaign since the beginning of the year. More than 500 missiles and suicide drones struck Ukraine's energy grid, fuel depots, and industrial facilities in a synchronized assault. Within hours, one-third of the country was engulfed in darkness, from Lviv to Odessa, from Zaporizhia to Sumy. This was not merely a military strike, it was a strategic blow aimed directly at Ukraine's most vulnerable point, its energy infrastructure and depleted air defenses. When Ukraine's air defenses collapsed, the Patriot, NASAMS, and IRIS-T systems, once praised by the West as symbols of advanced protection, are now struggling to hold the line. Russia's Shahed drones are programmed to strike in swarms, while the Kinzhal and Iskander missiles have been upgraded with new flight trajectories designed to deceive radar systems. According to the Financial Times, Moscow has enhanced the missiles' guidance software and approach speed, rendering them almost impossible to intercept. Zelensky reverses course from offense to pleas for aid. After 3 consecutive nights of relentless attacks, President Zelensky made a surprising appeal for an aerial ceasefire, while urgently calling on the EU to share electricity and natural gas supplies. It was a dramatic reversal, just weeks after he had declared, open quote, "We must strike deep into Russia to force Putin to compromise," close quote. Now, Kyiv no longer has the power to sustain its military bases, nor the energy to keep millions of civilians warm. Winter is approaching, and for Ukraine, it is not merely a season of cold, but a season of survival. Russia and the global energy war. This air campaign is not merely an act of retaliation. It is part of Moscow's long-term strategy to weaponize energy. Russia understands that in a world already suffering from fuel shortages, any strike against energy infrastructure will send shockwaves through Europe's economy and politics. At the Valdai Forum, President Putin delivered a brief but loaded statement. Open quote, "We possess weapon systems the world has never seen before." Close quote. A remark that served not only as a warning, but also as a strategic message to both Washington and Brussels, a reminder that Russia's power extends far beyond the battlefield. The shadow of a new world order. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, the United States was shaken by 2 unusual developments. The first, a closed-door meeting of 800 senior military officers at the Quantico base, reportedly convened to prepare for a global crisis. The secrecy surrounding the event, combined with growing instability in Eastern Europe and the Middle East, has fueled speculation that Washington is reassessing its global posture amid a rapidly shifting world order. The second, an explosion at Chevron's refinery in California, disrupting one of the United States' key fuel supply chains. Some analysts argue this may not be a coincidence. The world, they say, is entering a new phase of geopolitical realignment, where energy, warfare, and global power are being reshaped in real time. What we are witnessing is not merely a series of isolated crises, but the emergence of a new world order taking shape through chaos and confrontation. The future. Ceasefire or the next storm? Will Russia agree to Zelensky's call for an aerial ceasefire? The likelihood is extremely low. At this stage, Moscow holds absolute air superiority and has no incentive to surrender that advantage. On the contrary, if the winter campaign succeeds, Russia could paralyze Ukraine before Christmas, forcing the West back to the negotiating table to reconsider the very foundations of Europe's security architecture. From the battlefields of Ukraine to the oil refineries of California, from the Valdai Forum to the closed-door meetings inside the Pentagon, a global energy war is slowly taking shape. This is no longer merely a conflict between Russia and Ukraine, but a confrontation between 2 world orders, one old and faltering, and another rising from the shadows of war. Thank you for watching. If you found this analysis insightful, please like, subscribe, and share to support our channel and stay updated on the shifting dynamics of the global conflict.